What's going on, guys? So today on this SHOKY Quickie, we're taking a look at something new-ish from the Bandai Tamashii Nation's FIGUARTSZero Demon Slayer statue line, and it is their version of Tengen UZUI from the movie. I keep wanting to say it's from the movie. It's not from the movie. It's from the second season of Demon Slayer, the Entertainment District arc, and he's the sound Hashira. Yeah, kind of. I don't know why. Like when you hear, maybe it's just the Naruto fan in me, but if I ever hear somebody was from a sound segment, I always think Orochimaru. Oh, excuse me. So either way, here's a box. You do have the clear window on the top, around that side, through the thing. By the way, this is the front, not the top. I had a Red Bull. I'm going a little fast. Sorry. All right, so we do have that nice little logo there. We do have the official holographic stamp of goodness, Demon Slayer logo there in Japanese. Of course, an image there, name there, Tengen Uzuri. See, I have a hard time. I keep saying Uzuri, almost like there's an R in it, but it's not. It's Uzui. I gotta chill. It's kind of a hard name, if I'm honest. I'll just call him Tengen. Either way, so nice shots all the way around there. I don't even have to do the review. Just look at the pictures on the thing. It's fine. And you got the this came into America sticker right here. Little go toilet, all the warnings in Japanese. You got sales outside of Japan only. Huh. Oh, I guess it just means this stuff applies to sales outside of Japan only. Sorry. Ages 15 and up. Hey, I'm right in the middle of that. Anything? Oh, yeah, cool. Oh, so here's one thing I find interesting. This is technically the bottom of the box, and it has the largest product image. I mean, I guess there's actually no here. Look, there's a great shot of it on the side. So, like, you can display it, I guess, if you want to sell it. Product out through the window, on its side, on the shelf, like that, or even like this. Completely all jacked up and have a great shot. Really interesting packaging where they put some of the best and most convincing product images on the bottom of all places. So either way, let's go ahead and get to it. And you know what it means. It's statue, which means we need the turntable. Sorry, got to get this box out of my way. All right, guys, here we have the statue out. I'm actually going to back it up just a little bit. And you know what time it is. It's turntable time. All right, guys. So, if you aren't watching Demon Slayer, this character means nothing to you. But he was definitely one of the coolest new characters introduced post Mugen Train movie. Like, all the Hashira were sort of introduced at the end of the first season, whenever everybody got dragged back to the main palace of the boss, whatever. And he was definitely a strange one. They're all kind of strange in their own right. They're all definitely full of themselves. But once they allowed, our heroes to basically, train and then go after demons, and then also allowed Nezuko to get in there, he was pretty cool. The funny intro is how they brought him into the series. He needed some backup, didn't have anybody, because he had sent his wives, who were Kunoichi, off to go check out what was going on in this entertainment district. Send the sexy ninja bitches to go and investigate where there may be a demon happening. And they don't come back, so what does he do? He tries to recruit someone else's females. And in doing so, catches the attention of Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu, and the hilarity ensues from there on out. Fantastic season. Fantastic. He's a badass character, just in general. Like, when we get his backstory throughout it, all of the fights that he's in are insane. His skills with these blades, which are joined together by a chain, by the way, is just crazy. And I really want to know, like, I guess once you become a Hashira, you can just customize your blades however you want. because like everybody seems to get like a basic blade. You infuse it with a little bit of your energy or whatever, and it changes. Somehow, everybody so far that we've looked at as a Hashira has like a cool special weapon. Somehow, you know. But either way, let's pull him off the turntable and check the statue up. Check this statue out up close. Hard to say. All right, so starting out on his kind of head sculpt, he does have his head protector, forehead protector, very much like in Naruto with their ninjas. They have a big metal plate. Though he has these big pink rocks and then these extra bits coming through here. Seems to be there's something about that kind of from his family or from his region that he's from. There seems to be something along those lines where jewelry and things like that apparently comes from a very, very rich and powerful family. Not to mention he is a trained ninja who became a demon slayer instead. He does also have the big metal bicep bands, which I've never understood that other than looking tough. I don't know what the purpose of that is other than like, you know, it limits how big your biceps get. I don't know. Speaking of which, he is jacked. I mean, look at a big old vein on his shoulder there. Come around here. Oh, yeah. You know, since we're here, look at the sword. Look at it. So pretty. I love the, it's got the Hamon line there, and then it just fades into this kind of copper color to more of a silver near the edge. Look at that reflectivity. By the way, you can buy the swords, like the prop versions of the swords on BBTS right now. By the way, I did get this from BBTS. You could probably buy it anywhere else. You can buy Japanese cool stuff, but, you know, it is what it is. He does have multicolored fingernails. You know, whatever, however you want to make of that. It's just a style thing, I guess. Of course, he does have the big old Demon Slayer thing on his back, along with these wraps, I guess. Oh, that's right, because the swords are wrapped on his back. But why there's 3 on one side and 2 on the other, I have no idea. But it is what it is. The shading job done to his actual uniform is so freaking cool. Look, let's come down to his pants. Look at this. One reason I really love these is the shade job. And one thing that's a little weird is the dust, because it's kind of a translucent, like, tan color, and then it's airbrushed all the hell. He did get his little feetums down here. He is wearing sandals, by the way. So you can see there, he is wearing, like, ninja sandals, and then he's got these kind of leg wraps that aren't exactly boots, you know. Alright, let's come back up here. Look at the back of his head. Yeah. And he is wearing, like, a little glove gauntlets here. Like, it's got one little ring holding it up. And then he's got, like, a bracer/bracelet right there. Yeah. And then he's got his... It's like... The weird thing is, like, his hair is that color, but it's also a head wrap at the same time. Like, that's one thing I was always confused about, is, like... Is that his hair, or is it a head wrap? It is technically kind of both. So there is, like, a head wrap there, as far as I can tell, but there is also hair. So, it is what it is. You know, it's still fantastic. And the sword in this hand right here. Let me zoom in. So this sword is a little bit loose, and I'm trying to remember. It felt like, okay. I was going to say, it felt like there was assembly. There wasn't assembly. There was a piece of plastic underneath the chain to protect it from rubbing against the body in packaging. So that's one thing you do have to keep track of. And I did wipe it down because there is like kind of a protective like oil that they usually put on the statue so it doesn't rub against the plastic and wear off. So I did dry that off and wear that off. Once again, if you look at how he's holding these swords, I just want to so this one is going this way. The chain is going around his back, and then he's got this one underneath. That makes no sense as to how he would move it if he was going to hold on to them. But since he basically used these blades as like nunchucks and just would sling them around both as offense and defense, I don't know. I can't explain his fighting style. It's absolutely absurd. But beautiful at the same time. It would be cool to get statues of his wives. That would, I mean, I'm definitely not going to complain if they're highly accurate. What's that? What? Oh, okay. Yeah, we can see how big Wally is. So for comparison's sake, there he is next to Wally, so you can get an idea of roughly how big it is, just a few inches tall. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about with the Demon Slayer stuff. Compared to my Naruto statues, which are also FIGUARTSZero, these are short. They don't take up a whole lot of space. However, sometimes they do much taller ones or something with a little bit of elevation, much like that Nezuko that was kind of jumping over Tanjiro. That one is much taller, which is good. And then you have the scene from the movie, because forgive me, I forgot everybody's Akaza versus Rengoku, and those actually together have a decent amount of height, but this guy's really short. So is like the one that's coming up. So is the original Tanjiro. So they don't take up as much space, which is weird. And I do have a lot of room on the shelf, technically speaking, but also because I don't know if they're eventually going to pair this up with the demon that he's fighting, which would be one of the two demons that were from this particular chunk, or if he's going to be like, say, with his wives or something like that, or fighting against someone else. I'm not sure. And because they don't advertise it as such, you can't quite plan ahead. It's a little bit annoying. In the way, like if I go back to my very first Demon Slayer statue review, which was of the early Nezuko and Tanjiro statues, I thought they went together. They don't. Because that Nezuko goes with a Kanao statue that has yet to come out. That's what I'm talking about. It's like you get one statue that takes up a certain amount of space, you pair it up with something else, but then you find out it actually is paired with something else down the line, even coming out a year or so later. That's a problem. At least for me. And then some of them are clearly meant to go together, like the Rengoku and Akaza. Those were meant to go together, and they are on the shelf. It's a battle scene. So is this guy going to be up against one of those two demons that we see coming? And where is the adult demon-y version of Nezuko? Who is that supposed to be against when it comes out? Which I think is supposed to have some height to it. So it is kind of a display problem because you can't plan ahead. Like I need to install my lights for that display, which I already have, and because they no longer exist from IKEA, I only have so much space I can use and plan ahead for. But without knowing what kind of statues I'm going to be getting or how they fit together, it causes a problem because this guy is tiny. He won't need much shelf space, just basically like up to here to realistically, give him some shelf space. So it is what it is. But I got figured out, But, this review doesn't have to go on much longer. I have complained a bunch. Not necessarily about it. This is a cool statue. I really like this character. If you're in for this line, cool. I know that there's other ones. There's like the Sumes. There's the Mega House. There's a few other different statues. The Kodobukiyas. Or Kotobukiya for those Americans out there. So there's a bunch of good options even for this character and without even getting into like the high-end statues, which believe me, if I had the the availability of funds, I would definitely be into, because there's some very, very cool, like very expensive statues of the Demon Slayer cast. So, but either way, go check out the other ones if you haven't, and because there should be a playlist. If there isn't, I need to fix that. Hey, me, fix that while you're editing this, if it needs to be done. But guys, I will catch you on the next one. And remember, as always, keep on nerding.